Hey everybody, it's Indy. What's going on? It's been a little while. What's been happening is that there's been a banking glitch. A lot of people can't seem to access their money. Direct deposits are getting messed up, and there's some weird stuff happening. This started, and I started really paying attention to it. I watched an Instagram from a guy named Andrew Pearlman. So it started out that I was watching Andrew's Insta, and now let's take a look at this.
News. It's not even in the news that 4.3 million customers of a fucking mortgage company haven't been able to make payments for a fucking week, and it's not even in the news. Because Mr. Cooper, by the way, who holds my mortgage, the only reason I know about this is because I use Mr. Cooper. I didn't pick Mr. Cooper because, like, anyone who gets a... how is it not even in the news? It's not even in the news that 4.3 million customers of a fucking mortgage company haven't been able to make payments for a fucking week, and it's not even in the news. Because Mr. Cooper, by the way, who holds my mortgage, the only reason I know about this is because I use Mr. Cooper. I didn't pick Mr. Cooper because, like, anyone who gets a fucking mortgage in America, you choose the people who you want to finance your fucking house through, right? You pick them. They say, we're going to be here the whole time. And then you close on your house, and then they sell your fucking information and your goddamn mortgage to some unknown company like Mr. Cooper, formerly known as NationStar. So Mr. Cooper here, this fucking company, who, by the way, not a real person.
Not
Mr.
a real
Cooper
person.
Was a name they picked because they didn't want to be known as something like NationStar, because that feels like a soulless fucking mortgage company. They got hacked, okay? Mr. Cooper had a cyber attack. And on October 31st, they locked down all of their shit. I only discovered this on November 3rd because I was like, oh shit, I gotta go pay my mortgage. Let me log into the app and I'll push the button. I'll push the button to have my money taken out because I don't have automatic payments set up. You know why? Because I've been poor, fucker. I don't do automatic payments. Unless that's the only way to do it, I don't do automatic payments because I've had automatic payments come out and then not notice them, and now I have negative money somehow.
Negative money.
How the fuck is that possible? I don't know. I'm not a bank. Anyway, Mr. Cooper locked down their shit because they were like, we're being cyber attacked. And everyone's like, is it a ransomware attack? And they're like, we're not telling you. Was customer information involved? We're not telling you. We're working on it, and only the people who were affected by this directly are ever gonna fucking know. That's what Mr. Cooper keeps saying, and it looks like they're doing a pretty good job making sure nobody fucking knows about it, because when I go to news.google and I type Mr. Cooper in, all I'm getting in here is about like five local news stories about it. Not CNN, not CNBC, not MSNBC, not Fox News, not fucking Bloomberg. I'm on here and I get Scripps News and care11.com. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting on this. 4 million fucking customers have not been paying their mortgage for a fucking week to the third largest loan servicer in the fucking country, many of whom never picked this fucking company, and nobody's fucking talking about it. Nobody.
I love this guy so much. Andrew Pearlman, he channels my rage in so many ways. And how is it that nobody's been talking about this? Well, it's not exactly true that nobody's been talking about it, okay? There have been some people talking about this. And you can see here that we've got BOFA. Bank of America notified customers of a temporary industry-wide deposit delay. This was on November 3rd. So we've had this happening now for over a week. By the way, Mr. Cooper, let's look at this. On November 10th, I took a closer look to update and see where are they at now. On October 31st, they did experience a cybersecurity incident. Their team took immediate steps to lock down the systems, as Andrew said. They now believe that certain customer data was exposed. Yeah, surprise, surprise, right? But again, they're still not telling anybody what part of my data. We're still investigating. When will I be able to access? Well, you should be able to access it now, but the best way to get that's the best way via phone and through their website. No late fees or penalties, right? I'm a newly transferred customer. My rate will be locked. When will I close? very basic questions that people need answers to, right? So I didn't really pay attention to it for a few days. I saw that. I laughed. I thought it was funny. 4 million people not paying their mortgage. That's probably a problem for the company and for the mortgage business, but for you and me, not necessarily. So 4 days ago, our friend Brooke Hines, friend of the show, friend of the network, messages, and I see this tweet saying, electronic banking transactions are suddenly unreliable. Direct deposit failure at Wells Fargo and electronic blackout at Optus indicative of something worse or just normal snafus. And there's a lot of replies here, which is pretty interesting. Not normal at all. Of course, our friend Carla. All right. And then I said there was also the problem with the hack at the mortgage lender. Nope, don't like that. And I shared that. Right. This happened at Chase over the weekend. Powers that be tightening control. And that was Bernie Girl. Here's Medicare for All saying this happened last week at Bank of America. I went to go pay at Amazon and it said system failure issues. I think something's going on here. Very strange. So Brooke now notices, oh my God, another one. We're now up to 4. Chase, Wells Fargo, Optus, Fidelity, and of course, the story with Andrew and his Mr. Cooper, hanging with Mr. Cooper. Now, 5 days ago, and that would be on like the 7th, it was reported on CBS News via Microsoft News that Bank of America still, there are problems with direct deposits reaching out to banks on social media. This is going to mess with people. So what's happening is Wells Fargo and Bank of America referred questions to the clearinghouse, a payments company that operates the only private sector automated clearinghouse system in the United States. Ding, 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 ding. I think we might have a problem here. Nobody knows really about this company. They process a ton of payments worldwide every day. They are responsible for ACH payments, as it said. They're continuing to work with banks. This article it's mainstreamy, so I really don't want to cover it too deeply. I really want to look at the broader picture of what's been happening. But on top of that, you then have the Wall Street Journal saying that the glitch delayed 900,000 payments on a big payday, which is also kind of important. You know, the first Friday of the month, thousands of paychecks didn't land in individual bank accounts because of a technical glitch. So who is the clearinghouse? Well, I took a look and they seem to be pretty clean on the surface. The problem is that it is too much concentrated power in the hands of one and few. That has been gifted to them by all of these mega banks. So they are a private corporation that is owned as a joint venture by these 22 of the world's largest banks. And I'm sure there are other people that are probably involved in ownership here too. This is absolutely problematic in my mind. Here you can see it. Sorry. Wells Fargo is part of it. U.S. Bank, Truist, TD, Santander, Regions, PNC, M&T, again, KeyBank, probably the 22 largest banks in the world. Very little gets done in the United States, at least, without one of these banks, unless you're talking about a credit union or some kind of private financier. But if you're talking about a commercial bank, these are where you go to. So, and they're not the only ones, but it's most of them. When you've got Citi, JP Morgan Chase, Citizens, Bank of America, Bank of New York Mellon, Cap One, I mean, it covers a lot of the spectrum. So they're a problem. They operate core U.S. payment systems, including the RTP network, which is the real-time payments platform. So they're going to be able to make a mess of things if need be. Here's an article, an opinion piece from the other day, from Friday, saying that the deposit delays are just the latest example of how our financial system is broken. Right. Not caused by the financial institutions that originated or received the payments, or the businesses or other account holders that initiated them. However, the clearinghouse, of course, downplayed the problem. Less than 1% of the total ACH volume in the United States. Yeah. Until it messes with your money. Until it messes with your money. 900,000 people? I'd be screaming. And I am. For them. Because nobody else is. And it doesn't make any sense. It's a glitch. People are living paycheck to paycheck in this country. They're living hand to mouth. You take their paycheck away for 10 days, there's a lot of stuff they can't do. They can't afford to do. They're asking for GoFundMes. They're asking for help from their neighbors and friends and going to soup kitchens and applying for grants and stuff that they wouldn't ordinarily have to do. And if you say, meh, so what? You're an asshole and you're part of the problem. And I got no problem saying that. All right. You've got the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau announced Tuesday a new proposal to help customers avoid problems with large fintech institutions that offer services like this. Right. But that's going to take a while. If it ever does come off. It may end up being watered down in the process. While this ACH incident does not appear to spread further, it's just a matter of time until another one happens. And in this case, the CFPB should demand that businesses don't double whammy anyone that missed a paycheck through no fault of their own with any sort of late or overdraft fee. And a lot of times they end up returning those overdraft fees, but it costs you time and hassle and expense and aggravation to go through getting it refunded. And then there are the people that just won't even bother. So, from the CNN Wire, great. So, published through KAKE. It's an opinion piece. And it's an opinion that I agree with. And now, here's our friend Ophelia Mom. And I want to close the segment out with this, where she's talking about that, okay, so the banks mentioned on here are all part of the pilot program also to integrate with FedNow, which is the Fed's alternative to blockchain and CBDCs, also Cash App. The target date for all banks and credit union implementation is year-end 23, but glitches. Don't be surprised if they call a bank holiday. Are we conspiracy theorists or are we spoiler alert generators? I don't know. I love Ophelia Mom. She's great. Shout out to her. Shout out to Brooke and everyone else that was in this segment. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Support independent media. We need it more than ever. Thank you.